Yes, John, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. Is anyone on the stream? My wife should be on the stream as well. Interesting. My wife said that she can't hear you, but she can hear me. Yes. Speak, John. Speak, John. Give it 1 second. No. But I joined the stream myself, and I can only hear myself. We got this working the other day, no? Yeah, I can still hear you on Discord. Yeah, I can still hear you. I'm good. I've taken over your channel.
Okay. Wait,
Should
is it
we?
working now?
I can still hear you. I don't know about the
It's
stream.
working now. Yes, the stream can hear.
All right, let's start from the beginning. Sorry. My wife says that it went away and she can no longer hear you. I'm so glad I have her actively watching.
Video input capture. Okay, now you should be able to hear me on stream.
She says she
Yes.
heard it when the other screen is up, and she says now, yes.
Yes, now she can hear me.
Okay.
Okay, I just
All right.
put the input on both screens. Okay. So, I'm sorry again for the technical difficulties. We're starting this over from the top. Um, the reason why I wanted to come out on stream today is because we heard of the terrible news that Charlie Kirk has sadly passed away. My condolences go out to his friends and to his family, to his wife and his child. Um, they are very much going through a very trying time, and I think that it would be in everybody's best interest if we kept them in our prayers, and we earnestly pleaded with God to protect his family and to comfort them in this time. But I also am going to be speaking with another small YouTuber named Imperial Dogma on Discord. So without further ado, here we go. Imperial Dogma, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I hope you can still hear me.
And everyone else can hear me as well. Yes.
Fantastic. All right, yes, guys, I am Imperial Dogma. I created my channel literally like a week ago. I just tonight uploaded my first video. I already had it scheduled to upload tonight before the news. I was planning on uploading tonight for a while. So there's nothing in that video that touches on this topic. Hence, the reason why I wanted to expedite this stream with John and do it tonight. Um, so feel free to go check out my channel. The first episode is published, and I'd love to see y'all there. And stay tuned for more content. I hope I can make half as many videos as John does.
Well, you're getting it from a veteran over here.
I know, right? Yeah. Guy
No,
can
I
pull, guy can pull freaking chocolate rain,
yeah, I know
like
that's
just out of
insane.
the ether. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
So
Um, I am definitely no expert by any stretch of the imagination, as you can see from the technical difficulties that have been happening in most of my streams. But but here we go. All right. So, um, Josh, Josh, Imperial Dogma.
no, you're totally fine to call me Josh.
All right.
Like no.
I
No,
didn't
trust
know
me.
if I was supposed to keep it like secret or
No,
whatever.
no, that's actually hilarious. I actually don't care about that at all. Um, it's I plan on doing a face reveal. If I ever get big enough in the future, it might be like a cutesy little video or whatever. I don't care about my name being public or my face being public, but as of right now, keep my face hidden. But yes, I am Joshua Cotton.
Yeah, my apologies.
I
I
will stand by
literally,
my words as a man.
all right, that's amazing. Um, yeah, I just in my head, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be able to, I shouldn't like call him like by his name, and then I immediately did it. So it just,
No, dude, I knew it was gonna happen. Like, I knew you were trying to like stay away from it by introducing me as Imperial Dogma. Which, by the way, if you guys find that name interesting, I give a brief explanation in my first video as to why I came up with that name. But yeah, no, I knew that at some point in this you were gonna slip and say Josh. So,
yeah, well, I folded under no pressure. So, all right.
right.
Um, so let's get into the topic at hand. I know
Yes.
that you have been following Charlie Kirk a lot more than I have ever in the past. I mean, I obviously knew about Charlie Kirk. He rose to like conservative media kind of internet fame for in the
Several years.
in the last several years. And he's made a big impact on a lot of the youth, obviously being one of the founders of the Young America's Foundation. Is that right?
Turning Point USA.
Turning Point USA, my bad. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry about that. Turning Point USA and influencing a lot of the youth to come to
great group.
conservative values. Um, so, what were your initial thoughts about the news today?
Oh, my jaw completely hit the floor. For some reason, I have some theories why this one really hit close to home. Like usually, whenever I hear these tragedies, like they're sad, but like it doesn't really like hit me on a level like it would if I actually like knew the person. This felt like he was a longtime friend that had tragically been not even passed away, just assassinated, just straight up assassinated, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, to be honest, that's probably because, like you said, I actually do consume a bit of Charlie Kirk content. Mainly it's a good portion of my for you page on like Instagram and YouTube and things like that. So I watch a lot of short clips of him. That's the main way that I watched him. I never watched anything really like long form, but I
Mm.
still got a ton out of it from just that. And yeah, no, like I was so familiar with him, and like you said, he connected with the youth of America. You know, we're the youth, right? Like I'm 23, you're 24, and he definitely connected with me, and I think that's one of the reasons why this hits so close to home. And he also wasn't that much older than us, right? Like he was, I'm pretty sure, 31. Do
Mm.
you know?
I'm not exactly sure. I could do a quick Google search.
Sure. No, I'm pretty sure he was 31. But regardless, yeah, it just absolutely devastated me. It was the most awful thing that I heard. Like when I first heard it, I my mom texted me, which by the way, I was completely shocked that she even knew who he was. So
Yeah.
that was interesting. So she texted me on my way home from work that he had been shot in the neck and is in critical condition. So there was a little bit of time I was holding out hope. I immediately prayed a rosary for him,
Mm.
for God to uh, heal him and save him, but if not, save his soul. So, and it wasn't until I literally got to like the very end of the rosary where my mom texted me again and said that he passed away.
Yeah.
And I was just completely
It's
heartbroken.
yeah, it's definitely the case that word spreads fast about these sorts of situations. I had
Oh yeah.
a similar experience when I got off work today. I immediately got on my phone and I just
Was I
saw
the first person to text you about
you
it, or did you see like other stuff prior to my text?
three different people, well, three different like group like messages I got sent. So you sent me, let's see, you sent me at 4:56. 5:03 was another one, and then my grandma texted me at 4:50. So
Hmm.
I think she beat you out by a couple minutes.
Oh
So
wow.
so yeah. It I also like my grandmother. I knew that she was like knows about like the different conservative media people, but I didn't know she knew about the kind of younger people. But I guess
No,
because
and I think that just
Charlie Kirk also is a part of he does like legacy media stuff as well, so I guess he reaches older audiences.
right. I think that just kind of goes to show his huge cultural impact that he's had. Like the fact that my mother and my grandmother, who's out of his target audience, like I mean, clearly like his main target audience was people our age, college students. You know, that's why he frequent frequently went to college campuses, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, his message was also at the same time universal and wanted every American to hear it. But I just think that the fact that you know the generation above us and the generation above them know who Charlie Kirk is really says something about his legacy and the impact that he's had on this culture for sure.
Right. Um, well, I would also like to ask you about like your thoughts on the amount of right-wing assassination attempts that have been happening recently. Obviously, everybody knows about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Um, just
Yeah,
recently, there was another assassination attempt on Nick Fuentes. Both of those failed, but sadly, this most recent one, did not fail.
yeah, no, that's actually interesting. I actually did not know until you told me earlier. Me and John talked earlier in the day, and I had no idea that there was an assassination attempt on Nick Fuentes. I did not know that. Which that definitely adds another um data point to the trend for sure. The assassination attempt that I thought of almost immediately was the attempted Trump um assassination, which was I guess back in July of last year, right? I think it was.
Yeah, somewhere around that time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that I just my first thought was like, wow, like it just like re-emphasized to me how lucky Trump was to still be there the next day. I mean, he was millimeters away from getting his. I don't want to get too graphic, but on YouTube, I'm still not sure what the whole
All the terms
censorship
of
is.
service and all that. Yeah,
Yeah, right,
I
right.
understand.
But we all know what almost happened, right? And I mean, he was so close from not walking away from that, but he ended up walking away with pretty much just a flesh wound, and ended up showing a huge amount of bravery and courage, and ended up taking one of the most iconic photos probably in American history, like literally right after being shot. That was amazing. But like the assassination of Charlie Kirk really just it I don't know, it just really showed me that it's like, wow, it's like Trump being spared was an act of God. And like I said, I already thought that, right? I mean, it takes divine providence to avoid a bullet like that. But yeah, that just really showed me today. It's like, goodness, it could have been a lot worse. And all these attempted assassinations, I think it's easier to brush them off when they don't reach their end. This one reached its end, and it's absolutely devastating.
Right. And also, Charlie Kirk was obviously an outspoken Christian. He practiced his faith uh, very, very fervently in his life,
Very much so. Yes.
and he was very outspoken about it in the media and in his public life as well as his private. Um, how important do you think it is to remain steadfast in your faith, even when there are times when Christians are being persecuted or um, being put down because of their beliefs? Um, how
It is
important how
absolutely
important is faith?
essential. Oh, it's absolutely essential. If you don't persevere to the end, you will not be saved. 100%. Like you to 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 die for the faith, or to face persecution for the faith, is what we are called to do by Christ directly. I mean, there's no getting around it, right? And something that I've seen circulating on the internet, which I kind of want to hear your take on it, um, is people are actually calling Charlie a martyr. Now, at one angle, I could totally see why people would say that, and at another angle, I could see kind of some pushback on that. For the positive angle, um, what I see is that his main driver in life and in his politics was Christianity, and I would say probably the most heated topics that he talked about that really got under the skin of people that disagree with him would be things about abortion, things about homosexuality, transgenderism, and things of that nature. Those those issues go beyond just the political sphere. They have major religious implications on both sides, and he he stood up for what he thought was right. And it's not just what he thinks is right; it's what is right. By the way, he stood up for what he thought was right based on his Christian values, and that probably got under the skin of people more so than like his stance on economics. Like if I just had to guess, right? Like if I was a betting man and I had to bet on like, what are some of the topics that Charlie Kirk constantly talked about that would push somebody to the point of considering murdering him? And I would say that it would be those topics that specifically are very much entangled into um, Christianity and morality because you can't escape it, right? Like you can't. It's really hard to separate politics and religion in some areas, like those areas, like in abortion. You honestly can't because when you legislate laws, you have to legislate them based on a moral standard. And then the debate is what moral standard are you going to use? Are you just going to use whichever one you make up and and have a subjective standard that can change over time? Are you going to have some sort of secular whatever they want to make it worldview and just whatever's convenient for them? Or are you going to have a more traditional based uh, Christian perspective? Are you going to have a liberal Christian perspective? Like your religious ethos is what determines everything as far as what moral standards you want to be pushed in law. And he stood up for the things that are important based on Christian principles. And from that angle, you could say that this is more than just a political assassination. This could also be an assassination due to his Christian character, which would make him a martyr.
Yep. Well, martyr can be used in a multitude of ways. So, you know, he could be considered a martyr for the conservative movement, and I think that probably resonates with a lot of people,
Oh, for sure.
even secularists, even those who don't consider themselves religious. But I believe that religion is the foundation of conservatism in all reality.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
you have to have some kind of religious substructure in order to base your beliefs off and in order to conserve something, because these are the traditions and these are the things that have brought people together in communities for thousands of years. And that is what you're actually trying to conserve if you call yourself a conservative. And so while some people might consider him a martyr for the conservative movement, um, definitely it's because of his Christian faith that he is an actual martyr in the eyes of God.
Yeah, and that's kind of the angle that I was trying to get at. Like I kind of sympathize with that perspective. It's not a perfect like one to one. Like a better example of Christian martyrs would actually be the two young children from the Catholic school that got shot and killed
Mhm.
in Minneapolis, I think. And yeah, no, those are by definition Christian martyrs. They they died for the faith. They got killed because of their faith. And I think you can make a similar argument for Charlie here. But regardless, he was a man of God that stood on his principles and was not afraid to challenge people in a very respectful and cordial manner. And he emphasized so much in his debates that we have to have the ability to dialogue because once we lose communication with people and don't dialogue, we start making assumptions, and then those assumptions can become very dangerous and turn into violence.
Yeah. Communication is definitely key, especially when you're trying to understand people. The only way that you can really understand people is if you experience life with them and also by speaking to them. That's how you actually get to know somebody, is by hearing their thoughts, hearing how they think, and understanding their positions.
Yeah, no, definitely. Another another reason why this assassination hits home for me and like has really just punched a gut in me is that I have a 4-month old son who's not much younger than his 1-year-old son, and he also has I think around a 5-year-old daughter. Like just me trying to conceive of myself not coming home one day and leaving my wife and kids alone for the rest of their life, not having a husband and a father, is just absolutely gut wrenching. And that's what was taken away from them. I think one of the things that's upset me the most is the consequences that his family will have to face for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Um, it's definitely something that, everybody can see and put put their lives like into perspective. It gives you a little bit like a better perspective to
Right.
really understand how precious life is. I'm okay. I was literally thinking like the other day, I was like on the side of my bed and I had the thought that like life is precious. We need to we need to know and understand that life is precious. And so if you're ever like a person that's out there and you have maybe like thoughts of self-harm or thoughts of like maybe even murderous thoughts, which, you know, a lot of people are very hesitant to admit to something like that, but I think that it probably happens a lot more often in people's heads than they would like to admit. And I think that the majority of people are capable of doing like very, very heinous things. And if we don't keep the idea that life is precious and it is a gift from God in the forefront of our mind, then then we can lose sight of that and we can just engage in all sorts of horrible, horrible actions.
Yeah, no, for sure. One thing I wanted to talk about is let's talk about the reactions across the board. Now, I've seen from um, the left and the right, there, like, for example, like, um, the governor of California, is it Newman? Is that his name?
Newsom, Gavin Newsom.
Or sorry, yeah, Gavin Newsom. Yeah, like he came out and outright condemned this as he should, and
Mhm.
and so did Joe Biden, and obviously people on the right did. Like Trump made a a couple of posts about it, giving his condolences to the family and to Charlie. But as I've been scouring the internet this evening, I have seen a lot, and I'm talking about a lot on YouTube and on Instagram and everywhere. I've seen a lot of people
Like
celebrating
celebrating it.
this,
Yeah.
saying "rest in piss" and like stuff of that nature. What do you think about that?
Um, I think that it's like absolutely abhorrent. I did
And
just see,
deplorable?
yeah, I did just see a video of well, I forget his name is Ryan Walker. What's his name? He's like a Christian YouTuber. Yeah, Ryan Walker. He did a video reacting to a guy that was literally doing exactly what you were talking about. He like heard about Charlie Kirk's death and he's like jumping around doing like a TikTok dance or whatever. And he said like these people are demonically oppressed, like they're demonically possessed, they're demonically oppressed. I do believe that like demons are here, like the devil does walk and prowl around the earth seeking the ruin of souls, and he uses demons to get into people's heads to like get them to have all these sorts of like horrible thoughts. Um, and I think that's what we're seeing in our culture, like writ large. There's a lot of people that have been so far from the Lord that they are allowing demons to influence them into thinking like this.
Oh, 100%. You were completely correct. It is absolutely demonic to be celebrating this. If you're celebrating this, if you're celebrating the death of somebody that was all about peaceful conversation, like did nothing to deserve the death sentence whatsoever. If you're celebrating that, like you are actually sick in the head. And you might be sick in the head. You're probably sick in the head because of demons.
Mm.
Real demons, literal devils. This is not any figure of speech. It's not like the Imagine Dragon song of "It's where my demons hide" or anything like that. Actual demons.
This is their plan, people. These are demons. It's literally what I'm thinking like when I see stuff like this.
Yes. No, for sure. Yeah, it's completely deplorable and makes me sick every time I see it. I just don't understand that like at all.
Mm. How do you think it is that people get to a position where they are allowing demons to like influence their life to the point where like it dictates their actions?
Yeah,
Obviously, we all have free will and we can choose to like not listen to them whenever we want. But you can get to a point where you've just listened to them so much and you've just like followed their lead so much that you're just like, well, this is what I do and this is a part of like my habits now. So I'm just gonna do it.
yeah. What you're talking about is the searing of the conscience. What you got to do to get in. You don't have to do much to get influenced by a demon, but to get like kind of possessed by a demon, and not. And by the way, there's a bunch of different kinds of possessions. It doesn't have to be completely bodily. It could just be them possessing your mind or your thoughts, or certain objects in your home or things like that. Um, I'm definitely not an expert on this subject. I've watched a few interviews with exorcists, but obviously, step number one is cut yourself off from God. Cut
Mm,
and the more that you achieve that, the easier it is to be influenced by the demons, because when you have a relationship with God, God is not only going to protect you, but you're also going to have a very well formed conscience. Your conscience is going to align with the will of God, and you're going to want to do His will, and you're going to want to fight any other worldly desires that you have that go against His will. But when you constantly choose the world and the will of the world and the will of the devil, your conscience will eventually just get completely seared, and you will be forever a child of the devil.
mm. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna say this anyway. Um, it's interesting that you said that it's like not very hard for a demon to like I don't know, suggest himself at you. It's not very hard for him to like try to do like some initial thing. And as you were saying that, I just thought like in my mind, I just thought in my mind like the words like like smoking that Charlie Kirk pack or something, and then like going and like smoking a cigar or something. And then like my higher mind, like the mind of Christ, like hears that thought and it's like that needs to be like expelled. It needs to be taken under subjection and it's constantly like a battle with your mind, a battle with the flesh. Um and people get all sorts of like intrusive thoughts all the time and we need to remain strong, like it says Joshua 1:9, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, for God is with you. We need to be able to stand firm in our faith and to be able to combat these things even internally in our own minds.
Yeah, no, and it does say in one of the Pauline epistles to subject everything to Christ, like even your thoughts. I need to look up which verse that is really quick.
Like just bring them all under subjection.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
is
yeah.
it Philippians?
I thought it was Philippians, but the first thing that is brought up is 2 Corinthians 10:5. We demolish, we demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is a extremely difficult thing to do. That is a mastery of self that I have not yet mastered, and I pray for every day to gain. It
Mhm.
is incredibly difficult to do that, but it is what must be done. But when you're in a position where you just don't care about the will of God, like I guarantee you, every person that's celebrating his death does not care about the will of God, then you are completely open to the demonic world and the demonic influence, and you will be used as a weapon against humanity, but not only against humanity, but against yourself. Because the demons don't like you either. You can't make a pact or deal with the devil and think you're on his good side, right? Like, he hates you just as much as everybody else, even though you're on his team. Because he cannot stand humans because they are made in the image of God.
Mhm.
It also reminds him how God became incarnate in flesh as a human, which is the whole reason why Satan and a third of the angels rebelled in the first place, is because of that plan. He thought that becoming human was so beneath God that God was no longer worth worshiping.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, he cannot stand humans. He hates you. Um, he hates Charlie Kirk because he stood for God. Um, even if you don't stand for God, he hates you. Just wants to keep you where you're at, so you can go to the lake of fire along with him. And you might be asking, like, what's his motive for doing that?
Well, because he hates God. Uh,
Right.
that's,
So
I
do you
think,
think it's just
his
like another
biggest
middle
modus
finger,
operandi. Well, I mean,
like to
God
God, right?
God has such a like benevolent love for humanity. Like he was
Hmm.
willing to come down as one of us and to die for us. That's literally the most sacrificial form of love that you can have, is be willing to die for somebody. Um, and
Yeah, it's also like
that's what God
the
did for us.
yeah,
And it's
God also
because,
positioned himself as like the lowest of the low.
yeah, and he's the exact opposite of that. He's all pride. He's pride incarnate.
Well, I wouldn't say he's pride incarnate, but out
Not
of
actually
anyone that
incarnate. That's not
can
what I
have
meant, but like,
pride, yeah, no. I know exactly what you meant. Like out of anyone that can have pride, it would be God.
mhm.
Like no, I get what you're saying, but yeah, I kind of see the devil as like a kid that is falling into the pool. He is doomed to fall into that pool. And out of spite and hatred, he wants to pull in as many people as he can with him.
Mhm. It's kind of like the crabs analogy.
The crabs,
Like,
and I haven't heard that one.
so like crabs in a bucket, and you see like some of them like trying to get out or whatever, and then the other crabs will kind of grab them and pull them back in.
Oh, I haven't seen that really. That's fascinating.
Yeah, because they think that they're getting out, but really they're going into they're going into the stew or whatever. But
Com- Complete side topic right now.
yeah, yeah.
There was this lab experiment done on a mouse where I don't know. I think you put them in a cup and in a pool of water, and you there was one group where they just put them in there. They weren't going to take them out. They were going to see how long they would last until they drowned.
Hmm.
And I think it was like 30 minutes or something until they drowned. But then on another group,
I know what
they
you're
put
talking
them
about.
in there, they let
They
them
like took them
struggle,
out. Yeah.
and then they let them escape, right? And
Hmm.
thus showing to them that that escape is possible. So then they put them in there to see how long they will try, knowing that escaping is possible, having a hope to escape.
Yeah.
And they swam and swam for hours.
Yeah.
So very powerful thing what hope can do. And I know that's kind of a side topic, but it's really not, because we need to have hope now in this country, for our country, for our fellow kinsmen to repent and turn to God.
Yeah,
And
I would say that like the what a big thing in our like culture is the pervasive idea that we need to be like all doom and gloom, like the world is ending, the world's in shambles, it's all going to hell, like everything sucks, just be a doomer, accept it. Like I don't think that that helps anybody.
no,
um, it really just
very
feeds off of
terrible.
your own uh, worst tendencies to be lazy and complacent about the state of the world and not try to make a difference at all.
Oh yeah, no, it's a terrible mindset to have. I mean, it's like when you have that mindset, you're not going to do anything to make the world a better place. Like if you're on the Titanic, there's no point in arranging the chairs on the deck of the Titanic if you know it's going to sink,
Mhm.
right? Like just like that mindset in general, they will definitely not add to the world. And in fact, they take away from it by taking themselves out of it, and not being a part of it to try and change it to be a better place. We have to have hope, because we should have hope, and Christ wants us to conquer the world and bring it into his kingdom.
Mhm. Yes, definitely the first priority of all Christians is to be seeking first the kingdom of God and to bringing about his kingdom on earth.
Yeah, and
And
having
that
a zeal for
starts,
souls.
yes, that starts with planting seeds. It starts with evangelization. It starts with um, seeking God in your everyday disciplines, making sure that you are in right standing with God and letting your light shine to those around you. Because we're supposed to be like living testimonials to the world. I mean, you obviously have your testimony. I haven't gone into my testimony on my channel. I know that you're going to in the future in your future videos, and
Yeah,
that'll
that
kind of give you a
should.
good backstory for your channel as well.
Yeah, I plan on that being like my next episodes, like episode 2 probably, but we'll see.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, our testimonials are, they are powerful tools in evangelization. But one other thing I wanted to bring up is another thing that I just found out today. I mean, it felt like all the bad news of the world was kind of hitting me today. Like today, like after I saw the news that Charlie got shot and then that he passed away. Um, I immediately found out about the Ukraine woman that got stabbed to death. I think it was in her neck, just like Charlie. I don't know if you heard of that one.
I don't
Um,
think I heard about that, but I did see like
oh, it's
an
crazy.
Instagram reel. Was it like a woman? She was on like a,
It was a Ukrainian
yeah.
in
Was
North
she like
Carolina.
sitting down on like a train or like a bus or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
and
they
then
were
there
on a
was
train or a
a guy
bus.
behind her
Yes, that guy was like
in like a
literally
red
like,
hoodie, a red hoodie?
yeah,
Okay, I
that
saw a
guy was
picture of
let
it.
go out of prison like 14 times or something. Like he should not have been on the streets.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know the motive. I didn't look too much into that story. It just literally looked like he just stabbed her because he wanted to. I could be wrong about that, but that's just like sounds like what happened. And that only happened, I think, only a couple days ago or something. But yeah, like what I'm saying is I just heard of that like right after the Charlie Kirk shooting. And then after that, I saw that there was another school shooting, I think in Colorado today, like
A
today.
separate one from the Catholic school shooting.
Yeah, separate one, totally separate one. Another school shooting today where I don't think it was said that anyone was killed yet. I think they were three critically injured or something like that. Um, so that was also today. And then overseas, I started seeing things like Muslims setting fire to Catholic churches in France
Mm,
and in Canada. And so like it's been quite the depressing day, to be honest.
yeah.
When you
Um,
look when you look at
well,
what's going on in the world for too long, it's not too hard to get depressed.
I guess there was a reason for that idiom that when it rains, it pours, and it's definitely pouring right now.
Yeah, no, that idiom is definitely true today. It's crazy. But by by the way, for anyone that's watching, I know it's not too many yet. Yet
Yet,
you're about to blow up,
yet.
right? Um, for those of you that are watching, do yourself a favor. Do not watch the Charlie Kirk shooting. It is
Oh
all
yeah,
over the internet. It is
don't do
you
it.
have yeah.
I
Please don't do it.
I
It is
didn't see it. That like thought came into my mind earlier. I was like, should I look this up? And then like I imagined all the times in eighth grade where I saw like horrible stuff online, and I was just like, I you shouldn't be doing that. Like you're an adult and you can see adult things, but it's not good for you. These eyes that you have, they are a gateway into your mind. And so whatever you let into it, like it's going to influence the way that you think. So
yes. No.
do not do it.
Actually, while I'm giving a little bit more commentary on that, there is actually a direct Bible verse that Jesus talks about for that. If you want to look it up really quick,
Is it the
it'd be
one
very
about if the eyes are darkened, then like
yes,
the
yes,
heart
yes,
is
that one.
dark,
Yeah,
right?
no, that one's really good. Yeah, yeah. Do yourself a favor. Do not watch it. Control your passions and don't don't give in to that. There's no reason to watch it. I unfortunately did watch it. It came across, and it is probably one of the
Same.
worst.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
It
kidding. We're kidding. Sorry.
no, you're good. It is probably one of the worst videos I have ever seen. I mean, I don't even want to put a description to what happened in the video. It is I don't know how anyone can watch that and celebrate. It it is extremely graphic and extremely um barbaric.
Yeah. Um. Well, yeah. There's definitely just like not a lot of good stuff happening. Not a lot of not a lot of bright highlights or anything like that. Um, is there like a silver lining in all of this? If there is a silver lining, it's that like Charlie Kirk, he was a
It's in
Christian
heaven.
and yeah, he's in heaven now. And that's why I named this stream. This what this stream is, you know, welcome to heaven, because Charlie Kirk is now in the arms of the Lord and he will be there eternally, 100% safe from the snares of the devil for all of time. You know, the devil lost another one. Fuck you, devil. Fuck you, devil.
There you go. Dude, don't be afraid to say it. I mean, yeah, no, that if there's a silver lining in it, the silver lining is that he is with the Lord for all eternity in the beatific vision. But the the thing that I just can't get past as a husband and a father is just his poor wife and children. It really tears me up. I'm gonna have to pray many, many days for them, for the Lord to take care of them. And I know he will, but I could not imagine the amount of grief that they feel. I mean, I feel grief, and I've never met the guy. I've felt more grief today than I thought I ever would feel for somebody I haven't met. It's been a very interesting day. Like even my wife was like, "I did not know that you reacted to death like that," and I'm like, "I don't. I usually don't. I don't." So
I would agree with that, and I think that is something that's probably being felt by a lot of people around our age that have seen guys like this because like
it is. I
it's
saw someone on. on Instagram sharing the same sentiments that was around our age. So it's like it's interesting. It's like a thing that
Because like
people are feeling.
when you're young and you hear about like older people like dying, you just kind of see it and you're like, well, that's the way that
That's what
life
happens when you're
is.
older. Yeah.
Right. But then when you see a person that's like in the prime of their life and, you know, they have so much
And
stuff
close to
going for
your
them,
age.
yeah, and close to your age, and so much going for them, and so many people who like count on them and rely on them for their lives. Um, you see that that's like snuffed out at a young age, and it kind of hits you different.
It hit me yeah, it hit me different for a lot of reasons. I said some earlier. I think another one that I didn't mention was that, like, that is just so much young potential just gone in an instant. Like, he had so much more to give to this country,
Mhm.
but that was taken away, and that was the goal of the killer, to take that away. Um, to take away his life, to stop his influence, which I actually also came across another reel where he more or less predicted this to be a real possibility. He said that the left can't win based on arguments, and they are going to resort to weapons, and that is why I have a strong security,
Mm.
and it is a real danger. And he was right.
Yeah. Well, one thing I can say is that especially with the age of the internet and how everything is like recorded and like there's so much footage of him from the past that like things will still come out and he will continue to have like some kind of influence on the future of people. Like
Oh yeah,
people will talk about him, people will play clips of him, people
for a long
will
time.
like his ideas are going to continue to live on in the world. And like that's at least somewhat of a somewhat of a consolation because so much of his life was dedicated to getting out his message and the things that he believed.
Yeah, yeah, I know that's crazy. You that and that's so true. You do know that a couple of our Christian fraternity brothers have met him.
Really.
Yeah, Logan Warren. I don't know if you remember him.
Hmm.
Um, and um, Alec, who was a big. I think they were both part of Turning Point at our campus.
Really. Okay.
But and they both met him, and they were posting pictures today, and I was just like, dang, like this guy was like just really in touch with our age group, and I think that's why everyone's feeling it. Um, and even if it was, and even if you're outside of our age group, you're still gonna feel it just from the sheer brutality of it all, and the fact that he's no longer here for his children. It's absolutely heart-wrenching. Heart-wrenching. Um, this happened like literally about a week after where I just heard the news that my wife's first cousin, he was on his way to work for a night shift, and the door was left open, and his 1-year-old adopted son walked out, I guess to go see him or to say bye or something, but he didn't see him. Backed up, didn't run over him, but like I think he was like on the car or something, but backing up knocked him over, and he fell to the ground, and he did end up passing away. He busted his head.
What? Oh
Yeah,
my.
so like I literally just and that was a punch to my gut last week because I was like, oh my gosh, like you mean the little baby who what it was the first baby that Chloe ever changed a diaper for, like is gone just like that. Um,
Oh,
that baby's name was
I thought you were gonna say that
Jensen.
like he like flipped him over and then he like got hurt and he like scraped his arm or something.
No, no, I'm saying another major tragedy literally happened in our family last week, and it's like so if that wasn't enough to give me a reminder of how you're not guaranteed tomorrow and your life can be taken from you at any moment. If I didn't understand that from last week, I definitely understand it now from today. So
Mm. All right. Well, I'm sorry for the loss in your guys' family.
yeah, it's okay. I just pray for um him and the family to be able to afford the funeral. We donated some money.
Hmm.
They have a GoFundMe. Um,
What's the
but
GoFundMe?
let me ask my wife for the link,
Yeah.
and I'll
Let's get
send
the
it to
link
you.
up, and I'll put it up on, if I can like put it in my description or something, or I'll put it up on screen or something like that.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, look at me, I donated. Like, no, I'm just like, they're not particularly wealthy, and I think they were
Mm.
trying to raise like $10,000 or something for the funeral.
Hmm.
I think last I checked, they were at like 1,200 or something like that.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'll get that link to you whenever she texts it to me.
All right.
Um,
Definitely, guys. I'm gonna try to put that in the video description below. So if you feel moved to give and to support them in their time of need, uh, please go ahead and do that. Would be much appreciated.
yeah, no, definitely. It's this is my lack of YouTube knowledge coming out. Is something that you can put in the description something you can do after the stream has ended, or do you have to do it before?
That I don't know, and so that's what I'm going to figure out if I can do that.
Okay, that's funny.
Actually, let me look and see if I can actually change it right now. Mm, oh, I think I can do it over here. If I go to stream and I can manage. Welcome to heaven.
Well, maybe. Well, perhaps you could. If you feel inclined to do it, how
Yeah,
about
I can change it. I can change it.
how about we do that on like on just like a you know how you can just like make a post or something like without a video or anything?
Yeah.
I would say probably just do that, and let's kind of keep this video more dedicated to Charlie
Okay.
because that's kind of what the primary point is. The only reason why I brought that up was just to show that like how whether you're 1 years old, 31 years old, or 81 years old, your life can be taken from you at any moment, and it's a very sobering reality and something that we all have to grapple with, and that's the reason why it is so urgent to get right with God.
Most definitely. We can definitely be taken up to see the pearly gates at any moment. So, getting right with God is your number one priority.
Yep, for sure. I don't think I have anything else to say on the matter. Do you got anything else, John?
Um, right now, I think that's all the questions that I have.
Yeah.
Um, I guess like, is there any way that I could pray for you?
Um, yeah, there are a few ways. One of them would be prayer for more self mastery. I still have a long way to go in that. Um,
Okay.
prayer for perseverance in the YouTube realm. I really want to try and do that. I think it'll be very fun. Um,
Mm.
I had a great time making that first video, and I'm excited for you to watch it. I know you haven't been able to watch it yet. I literally posted it right before we got on this live stream. Um,
Nice.
so Yeah, I was planning on doing a live stream with John maybe later in the week, but because this happened, we we got on and went ahead and did it on the same day that I even just debuted my channel. But yeah, no, I is there any other things that I could pray for you for?
Um, I guess if you could just pray that I get over like certain bad habits that I've like fallen back into, like being able to turn from like fleshly desires, that kind of thing.
For sure.
Um, and hmm, pray that I'm able to like keep up the relationships that I have in my life, like with my friends and with my family. I think that that is one area of my life that I'm like pretty satisfied with, and
Hmm.
like I wanna make sure that I keep that stable and going well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's I will definitely pray for those things. Um, I would also like you to pray for me for keeping good relationships with friends and family. I have a bad tendency to not follow up as much as I should, so that would be a good improvement. Um,
Yeah, like Imperial Dogma. Gosh, you know,
yeah.
like we have like pretty, I guess, similar personalities in like some regards, and I think that's like one of them is, you know, we're we're not always the most communicative, but I'm probably worse at it than you are. But
Oh no, that's debatable, but yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, we're pretty darn similar.
yeah. But yes, I will definitely. Right, I'll practice my communication skills, but with the big guy upstairs. Um, so I'll be keeping you in my prayers for that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And of course, everybody, prayers for Charlie
Charlie,
Kirk's family,
for his
and
family.
well, if Charlie's in heaven, he doesn't need prayer.
Yeah, that's true.
If if he's in hell, which
Was
he's totally not.
was Charlie Kirk a Catholic? I don't even know.
N- no, actually, funny that you mentioned that. Him and Michael Knowles had had a little friendly banter on that. They were
Hmm.
doing a talk together, and they were I don't remember the details, but they were talking about like bringing people to Christ, and he and Michael was talking about bringing people to the Catholic Church, and then Kirk was like,
I thought he
no,
was a
the like,
Protestant. Yeah.
oh, you know, he's definitely Protestant, and he's like, no, it's more important to bring people to Christ than to Catholicism, and then Michael was like, well, what's the difference? And then that kind of opened up a whole can of worms of getting into Protestantism versus the papist position, which I also strongly hold to. Hence the imperial dogma name. It's so authoritative. But anyway, yeah, no. So just a quick little side thing. Prayers for Charlie only work if there's a purgatory. Because if he's in heaven, he doesn't need prayers. If he's in hell, prayers can't help him. If he's in
Hmm.
purgatory, then you can pray for the repose of his soul and God resting his soul and making it to the beatific vision, which he will. By the way, really quickly, purgatory is not a second chance. If you're in purgatory, you are already saved. Okay? It is it is a final purification and punishment for temporal sins, not eternal, temporal. I will talk about it later in another video. Just a random side nerd topic.
Yeah.
But yes,
That's to give you
prayers.
that's you guys are getting like a little bit of a sneak peek into how Josh thinks and like what his videos are going to be all about. Just there, a little snippet.
Yeah, yeah, no, this is definitely a sneak peek for sure. Going into tangents like this, that's my specialty. But anyway, back to the topic. Prayers for Charlie, prayers for his family, um, prayers for his friends, everyone that was close to him, and for everyone that's mourning. Take time to mourn. And John, I really appreciate you having me on your channel. I hope the next time it'll be in a much more joyful situation, and we can do a lot more fun activities and more lighthearted talks, and have have less of a sobering live stream.
Oh, I look forward to that. Yes,
Yeah,
everybody, please keep Charlie and his family in your prayers. Um, you know, we all we all need to we all need to understand that life is precious and that it's a gift from God and you matter. Like the Lord cares about you. So, like keep going, you know.
yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I appreciate you having me on, and I'll have you on my channel one day for sure.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for coming on, Josh. Um, please, everybody, go check out Imperial Dogma. It's great, great YouTuber, great YouTuber, the best, actually.
This is
Um,
this guy has the best impersonations. Him and his brother. You guys probably haven't seen his brother yet, but they're so good at impersonations. It makes me laugh every time.
yeah, I'll bring him out every once in a while. I don't want to overdo it. All right. So, with that being said, we'll we're going to be signing off pretty soon. So, thank you, Josh, for coming on, and we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, no, thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. So that was the stream. Um, a stream for Charlie Kirk, a stream for Charlie Kirk's family. Um, yeah, I'm honestly like at a bit of a loss for words. Um, it's really not. It's not a great thing that happened. Um, but again, Charlie Kirk, he's in heaven now, and for that we can be joyful. We can be joyful that hell has lost another one. With that being said, I'm going to end the stream. No, we're not doing Minecraft. I'm sorry. The video. Yeah, we're not doing a Minecraft stream right now. This is the end of the stream. All right. Until next time, I hope you all have a blessed day. That's it. I'm done that. I hope you all have a blessed day. See ya.